So I'm Rishi from Billabong, Mulund. I had few questions, sir. So I think problem with India would be that the tax rates are as equal to the European countries, I would say 30-35%. But the distribution is the challenge. And one of the articles when I was reading through your pre-reads is that the distribution channel in India for the taxes is not proper. So can you throw some light on that? The other question was that we are talking about Kerala and how lot of money is given to the poor people so that they can. But don't you think that it could lead to fall in the efficiency of people, because when you give them money free of cost, they tend to lose the productivity sort of thing.
A few things. Your question is over? Yeah. Okay. Now, as regards the tax rate, I think you probably have personal income tax in mind. It is indeed true that our top rate is in the range of about 35%. But if you're thinking in terms of tax rate, as in the tax to GDP ratio, in India, the tax to GDP ratio right now is somewhere of the order of about 16 to 17% tax to GDP ratio. European countries, in fact, most of the European countries where you look at taxation plus the social security payments, they are in the range of 40, 45 or 50%, particularly when we are thinking in terms of the welfare states like Sweden, Denmark, and so forth. They go up to 45, 50%, where the state has a as large a sort of fraction of GDP as 40, 45 or 50%, whereby they're able to take care of education, health, old age payments, benefits for children to unmarried mothers and things like that. So it's a very large sort of participation in the economic activities that the state undertakes there. In the Indian context, that is simply not possible. We just generate about 16 or 17% of tax as a fraction of GDP. So that is one point that is worth considering and keeping in mind. And your second question had to do with something about Kerala. Kerala. Yeah, including GST, we are still under about around 17%. Yeah. That is added. In Kerala, it has been again a historical tradition in Kerala where education was brought in by the ruling sort of principalities of Kerala from the beginning of the 20th century. The Travancore, Cochin sort of kings and so forth, they had a very progressive set of educational policies, and they brought in health facilities for the community at large. And Kerala, of course, within India, was the first country that took on sort of socialist and communist ideas and became the first communist state in the 1950s. Now, and later on as well. Now, there, the idea of giving sort of positive social safety net to the bottom sections of the population was a well accepted political and social sort of idea. So socially and politically, that was well accepted, much ahead of the rest of the country. And much later, I think Bengal also comes into the scene when the CPM came into into ruling Bengal, but Kerala was the pioneer in this. So the commitment to the bottom sections of the population was part of the historical and social thinking process of the Kerala population.
Yeah, and I'm just adding one thing. What Pulin just pointed out is correct. The tax GDP ratio India is pretty low by standard, even compared to capitalist countries, fully capitalist countries. Moreover, a lot of the tax is not direct tax, it's GST and things like that, which goes disproportionately to the common person. So if you look at the distributional impact of the tax, In India, it's extremely regressive. Ordinary people paying a disproportionate amount of the tax. And as far as transfer to the poorest people, a certain amount free, I again feel that's fine. If there are people who are so poor in your country, you should give it. And that it could hurt their spirit just getting money for no work. That I don't buy for the following reason. You know, if you think of feudalism period in Britain, where the feudal lords would be sitting back and the serfs would be working, we did not feel bad that the feudal lords are not having to work at all and getting a huge amount of income. So I feel for the very poor, providing a certain amount of money so that they come up to that level, I feel that is worthwhile just as a humanitarian move, and it's not going to damage incentive, is my hunch.